Hello, this is Maggie. I want to show something. So this is the most problem when you're dealing with the first wound string in something that isn't a top shelf piano. Although this piano is actually still pretty good. I need to make a video where this is worse, but I have the opportunity now, so I'm doing it. So I've got my F to F set, and I'm moving down to E. Okay, if I tune E to where the fifth sounds really good, and the fourth is reasonable, watch what happens to the thirds. They speed up. I'm pushing it a little bit. That's what happens. This is not a spin it, but this is what happens on a spin it. It's booking. So what I do, and then minor third. The inharmonicity in this first round string drops all of a sudden. So the upper partials all of a sudden aren't lining up like the others were. So what I do is I make my fourth a little more pure and my fifth a little more narrow, just a little. I need to bring this sharp before I bring it flat again. There, I got a little bit of a beat in that fifth. That fourth is cleaner. Now watch my thirds. It's still speeding up a hair. So that might be a good compromise right there. If I want to make it even, if I want to raise this even more, let's see, let's do the thirds. So let's listen to the fifth now. I've got a mute problem here, so it's not sounding very. I gotta fix that. Not a mute problem, a damper problem. Let me make sure my fourth is still wide from where my ear is. So I could raise that up a little more. So you see my wiggle room here? Now what about my octave? Let's see what kind of octave I have where it is right now. That's not bad. I could leave that there. Let's see. I could leave that there. So that's not a bad spot. But my point is, when you're moving to the first wound string, compare your fifths, your fourths, major thirds, minor thirds, oh, sixths. Ah. That's not bad. That's not too bad where it is right now. I might leave it there. I might play around with it a little bit, but you're going to have to sacrifice either your thirds or your fifths. I prefer to sacrifice both. I like to find a middle ground and have my octave and everything else still run as best I can. It actually sounds okay. It sounds pretty good. You just have to understand that you can't keep these awesome sounding fifths going this way. I haven't tuned to 12th yet, but you can make the 12th sound acceptable also when you're doing this. If you tune upward first, I haven't tuned upward yet. So, and this continues, whoops, this continues to here. So those these 1, 2, 3, 4 notes, I'm going to have to really play with and get them, compromised to where everything sounds pretty decent. This one I don't know yet. This is after the break. Sometimes it starts to fall into place after that. Sometimes I got 2 or 3 more notes, 1 to 3 more notes where I still have to fiddle. And then sometimes, rarely, sometimes, on the worst spinets, this isn't sometimes, this is more than sometimes. I'm going to come back to this sometimes. On the worst spinets, you can get, you either have to have your thirds suddenly speed up at the first wound string, or you have to have inverted fifths and fourths, which I've only had happen twice so far. Someone told me that would happen, and I didn't believe them until it happened to me. I was like, oh, okay, there it is. So you can compromise around with that, and when that happens, you can either no. Well, this is the sometimes. Sometimes you can get your thirds to progress on certain odd-scaled pianos, and your fifths and fourths come out both pure. They both come out pure. It's just how the harmonics fall. It happens occasionally, not very often, but when it does, it actually sounds pretty good. So you don't tune narrow fifths and wide fourths. You tune pure fifths and fourths across the break, and then your thirds and sixths run. You got to be careful with that, because sometimes when that happens, the tenths are off. And so you have to check your tenths. Let's see, I can't play my tenths for you at this time, but I think you get the idea. I hope this helps anyone who's experimenting with aural tuning into a first wound string that is above the break, because this happens a lot. Okay, if you like my videos, subscribe. Thank you, and like them. Bye.